I have some people asking if I can break down the pants a little bit more. So I'm going to do it in like a small version. So I've got my little pattern here that I'm going to cut out, and then I'm going to cut the pieces out and show you how to put them together correctly. Hopefully this helps you out. First things first is just to cut out your pattern, of course. So on all pants, you're going to have this little booty corner here on both of them. The back is always swooped more than the front for obvious reasons. You want to make sure that you put these pieces correctly together, or your pants will be wonky every time. You'll never get it right. We're going to start with the front piece. The goal every time is to always do the cut this way and then the cut this way. So you just flipped it over and did the same. So technically you could fold your fabric and cut this, and you would have the mirrored side too. That would save you a step. And then for the back, you would put the back piece down, cut it, and then flip it, cut it, and you would have your two pieces. I'm going to cut this front piece on fold to speed up the process a little bit. So if you have it this way and you have it on fold, it will make that inverse for you. Huge tip is if you have a rotary cutter, use it. This is my cheapy one, but we're going to use it for this. And it helps to put weights down when cutting. So now I just want to show you, this is this side, and then if it was flipped, it would be like that. Since I don't really have two good sides to show for this, I'm going to try to just put good side on both of these so we can tell which one's which. Good side. Good side. Also make sure that we know it's the front. Get a pen that is erasable by water or by air and mark your front so you can keep track, or use a safety pin with a bead that says F on it. That helps too. Then I'm going to show it the slower way for the back piece. We're just going to pretend this is the good side of the fabric. I'm going to weigh my weights down and cut it, and then I'll do it again in the inverse. All right, now I have that side. Now I'm going to pull my other piece out here and flip it and do the exact same thing. And you can actually, depending on how your pattern is, make it fit the fabric better. That's what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to cut it. So now that we have both directions, we're going to put that these are good sides. And these are the back of the pants. So usually you would only have to put that it's the back. I just have to because my fabric is the same on both sides. So now you'll be able to see you've got the mirrored version and the regular, assuming that you cut it on the good sides both times. Now we can start working on putting them together. You always want to do back and back together and front together. That is the easiest way to remember how to actually connect them. And you're going to want to put your two fronts good sides facing. So this is a good side and this is a good side, and face them so they're on top of each other like so. And we only want to focus on this booty corner all the way up here. So basically stitching here. That is what you're going to stitch first. For the back, you're going to do the exact same thing. This is good side and another good side. Now we've got them facing each other, and you're going to only focus on this corner to this corner and stitch all the way up. If you're concerned that you're not doing something correct, you can always test yourself. Taking your time and testing yourself is the easiest way to make sure you're on the right track. So I am just going to pin these in place here to kind of mimic sewing stitches, and you'll be able to see when you open it up that we're on the right track. That is the back of the pants. And then if you did the same thing, you'd have the front. So on your sewing machine, go ahead and sew the booty corner here and the booty corner here, and then we will move on to the next step. There are two ways now that you can go about sewing those booty corners. You can either sew it with your sewing machine or serge it, or you can do both. So the first option is, if you don't have a serger, is to probably do a zigzag stitch all the way along the edge of that booty corner and the legs. So you can plan ahead and zigzag stitch all along the outside of the whole pant so that the fabric will not fray and it just looks cleaner. Then you actually would just do a stitch with a seam allowance next to that zigzag, and you can actually iron and open up the two pieces that are connected and open them up on the inside. Next, you can use a serger and you can serge those edges clean. That's what's inside most t-shirts. You can see serge lines if you're not sure what a serger does. Serge all of the edges and then go and use your sewing machine to sew along where that serge was and also create that opening on the inside that you can flatten out. Or you can just nix all of that and you can just serge the two pieces together and then they're connected and you don't do anything else. Now you've got your two booty corners sewed. When you open them up, this is the front and this is the back. So now you've got good sides and good sides. So you take those two good sides and put them together. So that means now you take the edge of this pant leg and the edge of this pant leg, which is the front and the back, and line them up and lock them in place. You do that down the long part of the leg, not the inside. Just gonna do 2 pins. Okay, so that locks in that side, and then you flip to the other and do the exact same thing. Front good side and back good side. Do the longest part of the leg. So now you're left with this open. So that is a good thing. Go and sew these sides. Now that you have sewed those side pieces down, you have this middle piece left, and this is super easy to do. I wanted to quickly show you that I left the tiniest little seam allowance because I'm making little tiny pants. That because you left that seam allowance, this little bit of fabric can be folded open and ironed down flat so you don't have any thick fabric pushing against your body and it's just like flush. So you can see the difference between that and that being open. So the reason I tell you that is because when you are putting the crotch seams together, the fabric here might want to go one way or the other if you serge it, but if you did have this extra seam allowance, you'd want to flatten both sides of them open, which this is fraying because it's cheap fabric, but you would open these up flat, pull those two pieces to the side, and then pin them in place and then sew so that they stay down and they can't like pop back up. So now you find the center crotch and work your way out pinning and just pin all the way down the leg. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Pin these in place. And you should be able to just pull these kind of open and literally just sew a straight line across. Just make sure that these little openings, if you did it this way, is flat. I usually actually like to start from the crotch because then I can make sure that my center pieces stay the same. They don't move or shift on me. So what I'll do is I'll get that locked in place and go down one leg. And then I'll actually just flip it around, recatch from the start of that seam and go over it again basically so that it holds those stitches. And then go down the other leg. You can flip them right sides out, which this is small so it's hard to do. But you would flip these inside out, or right sides out, and you'll have pants. So now you can see your fronts are on the front side, your backs are on the back side, and then if you were to fold these, you would be able to see the curve, that this is the back side. That's a pretty big curve, and then if you flipped it to the front, that curve will be way less. And that is how you put pants together. I hope that me making these small pants helped, and definitely save this video for later so you can come back to it and follow me for more sewing tips like this one.